Good evening. We are live from the Moyer Recreation Center with Series Lacrosse Alberta Senior B Series Lacrosse action between the Edmonton Miners and the Saskatchewan Rebels. Edmonton Miners currently sit 7-1, first place in the division as the playoffs start in a couple weeks. The Rebels currently sit 1-7-1, fifth place as they look to move into that coveted fourth place spot to be in the playoffs a few weeks from today. We're going to have the anthem right now, and then we'll have face-off. Welcome again. As mentioned, the Miners currently 7-1, tied with the Calgary Mountaineers for first place in the Senior B division, 14 points. Rebels currently sitting on the outside looking in, sitting with 3 points, a 1-7-1 record. They're chasing the Senior Outlaws for a last coveted position in the Senior B playoffs in a few weeks' time. Should be a good game. Miners are 2-0 against the Rebels this season. Also, the Miners will be in the white jerseys going left to right on your broadcast screen. The Rebels will be in the red jerseys going right to left. In net for the Miners, it will be Matt Hebert, been their starter basically all season. And in net for the Saskatchewan Rebels, I cannot see the number right now. We'll get that to you as soon as I can. Miners control the ball up to court. Number 18, Gillespie, moves it down into the corner. Controlled up top by Bowen. Bowen slowly walking into the zone, controlling the ball. Loose ball going down. Going to be an over and back for Saskatchewan ball. Already a little bit sloppy transition play. Unforced errors. Ball's going to be picked up by Eric George. Huge part to this offense, currently sitting first in goals on the Saskatchewan Senior Rebels. Ball will be turned over to Toll, moves it up court to Milne. Milne 2-on-2. It's going to come back a bit, wait for some teammates. Again, this ball will be controlled by the Rebels. Fast break by Derek Burak. Ball will be controlled in the corner by the Rebels, waiting for some change on transition. Move down low. Sizing up his defender is Justin Morgan. He shot on net right outside the crease. That'll be turned away by Hebert. Controlled by the Rebels for now. That'll be a shot clock violation, and it'll be Miners ball up court. A little bit slow action now so far. Needham will move the ball into the Rebels zone for the Miners, coming across the top off some screens, passes to Bowen, but Bowen is not able to handle that ball correctly. Controlled by the Rebels in the corner. Be a shot on net. That will be saved by Hebert. Looking for the 5-hole there was Greg Beret. Not able to get that so far on Hebert as he turns away his first shot he sees this game. Up court with Christensen. with the Miners. Cross over to Bowen. Bowen seems to be a huge part of this Miners offense. Little shimmy and shake there. Shot on to Trace Stewart, but he will turn it away. Rebels control the ball now. Darren Beret up top. Takes a slash for two. Over to Morgan. Morgan's going to look back to Beret. Down low to Nolski. Ooh, just over the net of Hebert. And that will be a shot clock violation on the Rebels. Miners are going to control the ball deep in the Rebels zone into the corner and be able to set up their offense. Cook will take control over to Christensen. Christensen over to Bowen. Bowen looks off the post as Stewart did not give him much. A lot of goalies will say you only hit the post because that's all I gave you. A little bit of rough stuff in front of the Rebels bench here. Rebels will control the ball. Blown in by the referee. Beret coming out the left-hand side, going down into the corner, looking for his teammates. Ooh, bobbles the ball a little bit, but is able to manage to get it back. Ooh, passes it off to Eric George, who leads this Rebels team in goals and adds to it. That will be 1-0 Rebels. About 4 minutes into the first period. And that is a good start for the Rebels, who are looking to save their season. Nice little overhand shot left-handed from the top of the circle there by George. Was able to get it past Hebert. Ball turned over. Refs are Miners bench asking for a delay of game. They're not going to get it. Spencer Milne brings it in, passes it off to McFadden. McFadden down to Bowen. Bowen dives across. That is turned away by Stewart. Marcus Needham, second on this Miners team in points. Barely missed that shot, and the Rebels will take control of the ball. Up court would be Takahara. Takahara turns it over to Jason Williamson, who is by himself, and he's going to wait for his teammates to change. Nice turnover there, getting them a fresh 30 and control the ball. Needham moves over to Bowen. Bowen, again, sizing up his defenders, able to get by him. Comes in across and save. That is saved by number 88. That is John McMillan in net for the Rebels tonight. Sorry about that. It's the first good look I had of his number. Very solid so far for the Rebels. Has turned away a couple shots, kept this Miners offense at bay. Miners will control the ball here on the left-hand side, take it up court with Milne. Milne over to Christensen as they will change off. Christensen stops up high, looks for a pass down low to number 94. That is Needham again. Needham controlling it over on the left-hand side, up top to Bowen. Very familiar. Bowen gets the ball every time in this Miners offense so far. Clearly, he's third on the points in the Miners, so clearly a big part of their offense, and they want to get him into the game as much as possible. Rebels take the ball over on a shot clock violation. Adam Yo passes off left-hand side. Beret up top, down low to. That was Josh McCallion. Turned over as he stepped into the crease, determined by the refs. Ball is down in Rebels territory. They're able to recover it though. Bobbled over to Bergoloff. Bergoloff saved by John McMillan. Burst of speed here goes Takahara as he stands back door and hits the post again. Not sure if Hebert got a piece of that. No, they're going to say hit the post as they did not get the fresh 30. Shot by 5 there for the Rebels. It'll be Miners' ball again. Pretty slow action first period so far. 7 minutes into it. Once again, we are live here from the Moyer Recreation Center. Rebels versus Miners. Rebels hoping to win this game and get their season back on track. Top 4 teams in the Senior B division advance. They are currently in 5th place, 2 points behind the Outlaws. Brockmeyer gets the interception around half court, passes it down to Needham, and he's going to wait for his teammates. Wait for the offense to get on. Shot on net, handled by McMillan, who's been solid so far for the Rebels. Rebels are going to advance it up court here. Again, if you're new to RML Lacrosse, ooh, big hit by Jarrett Toll. A little bit high there, but refs say play on. That would be a save by Hebert and ball controlled by Spencer Milne. Milne after Christensen as he waits for his front gate to get on the field. Number 15, Bowen, once again with the ball on the right-hand side, looks over defender, gets a nice shot on net, but that is turned aside by John McMillan. McFadden over to number 28 for the Miners. There is no backplate on that. I will try to get a name as soon as I can for you. McFadden shimmies and shakes, jumps, shoots across. Christensen gets a rebound to save by McMillan, who has been extremely solid for the Miners so far. Or for the Rebels, my apologies. So we don't have a shot clock here, but I'd say he's probably saved the first 10 shots by the Miners. Cut play there in for Beret, unable to handle it. And the Miners will get the ball again up court. Looking for an odd man rush opportunity, not quite going to get it. Going to think and pass off to Needham and go to the bench and get more front gate guys on for the Miners. Needham looks, gets a screen from Christensen. That's back-to-back saves by McMillan. He's just saving the first chance and the second chance. Jordan Dewart controlling it for the Rebels up court, saved by Hebert. Eric George fighting down low. That will be taken by the Miners behind the net, up, and they were able to get out of their zone pretty safely, might I add. Michael Seidel with the ball right now, passes over to Needham. Needham going up the left-hand side, getting pushed a bit. Seems to not be deterring him. Ooh, tries to pass it off to number 28 there, and it is bumped and mishandled, and that will be an over the back, and it'll be Rebels ball in the offensive zone here. It is going to be picked up by Ethan Wong. Wong in the corner, passes over to Beret. Beret, left-hand side, looking for teammates, takes a slash or two, cuts inside. That's saved by Hebert, looking 5-hole. Hebert allowed that first one on like the second shot of the game. Has been pretty solid ever since then. Good goaltending duel here, 10 minutes in. Yeah, this is Rebels versus Miners. Miners in the white jerseys, left to right on your broadcast screen. The Rebels in the red jerseys, right to left. Bowman passes it down to Bergolov, unable to connect, as McMillan will grab the ball and send it up court for the Rebels. Josh McCowan currently with the ball, kind of getting dragged in the back there, passes off to Beret. Beret coming off the bench, always dangerous. That is Greg Beret, third on this Rebels team in points. Shot on net. That will be handled by Hebert. Again, shooting down low. Hebert's been pretty solid down low so far in this game. Might want to start thinking about shooting high if you're the Rebels. Be sure to get your CROW LAX 50/50 tickets. Draw will take place on Canada Day with a maximum take-home amount of up to $10,000. Scan the QR code on your screen right now and visit our social media channels for more information at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. As the Miners will cut across, take a shot, and put it up into the netting. It's going to be Rebels ball up court again. Able to get across in that and beat out that 8-second. Rebels control it. Darren Beret, can only assume is related to Greg Beret, passes it off to McCallum and Duff down in the corner here, taking some cross checks. Other way though, it will be Gillespie over to Egas for a 2-on-1 goal. Sorry, I was a bit distracted about the cross-checking and almost fight we had down here on the other side. Miners go the other way on a 2-on-1, and Agus takes the pass and beats McMillan for the first goal of the game for the Miners. That is a 1-1 game. I apologize for not updating the stream. Rebels take the control off the draw. Looking to set their offense. McCallion, a little bit wide there. Needs to dial it in if he's going to beat Hebert tonight. We got Agus up court with his teammates. Looking, not really trying to get any front gate guys on right now. Looks like the transitional offense for the Miners, as they do come off the court now, and those front gate guys gets on. Over to Bowen. Bowen up top, bobbles it a bit. Able to recover. Got 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Able to get it off down low, and that is a shot clock violation. Turnover. Rebels ball. Greg Beret controlling the ball, waiting for his front gate to get up court with him. Hands it off down low to McCallion. Passes it over. That's another shot by Darren Beret on Hebert's 5-hole, and he saves it. Miners take control now. Moves it over to Bowen. Bowen looking for teammates across. Dishes off to McFadden. Pass did not get there. Ball controlled by Fowler. Ethan Ang. Getting double teamed there by the Miners. 3-on-1. He needs some help. Takes a couple whacks, couple slashes. Does not like that and gives a shove back. Refs say no call, play on. As it seems like so far the refs are letting them play, which we like to see. That'd be Craig passing it down over to Christensen. That'd be a save by McMillan. It's going to be Rebels ball up court. Takahara goes 5-hole on Hebert off the breakaway and beats him down low. That'll be a 2-1 lead for the Rebels. Nice transitional play there by Takahara as he was able to get the ball down court, use his feet to get ahead of the defenders, and go 5-hole on Hebert, giving the Rebels a 2-1 lead in this game. There's currently 7 minutes left in the first period, and the Rebels have, for the most part, in my opinion, been controlling the play and using their, taking advantage of the turnovers so far that the Miners have made. Bowen with the ball. Moves it down low to McFadden. Up to Needham. McFadden gets a screen from Bowen. Shoots 5-hole himself. McMillan is up to the task on that one. Saved by the Rebels netminder. Tossed up and turned over. Miners going to go right back on offense. You got Needham up with Seidel. Passes it over to Agus. Agus hits the post. Going to be Needham again with it. Kind of waiting for his front gate to get up with him. Bergolov hits the back of a Rebels player. That's going to be determined as a deflection, and it's not going to be over in the back. The Miners are going to control the ball in their own zone. McFadden moves it up to Cook. Cook behind the net, looking for some options. Moves over to Christensen. Miners' offense really hasn't been set up any pick plays or creating space for their shooters. I'd like to see that change throughout the game. McFadden able to kind of dance around a Rebel screen there. That's going to be determined over and back, and that would be Rebels ball in the corner here. We have 5 minutes and 44 seconds left in the first period. Rebels up 2-1 in a much-needed game, as must win as you can get at this point in the season. Hebert was able to get the control of that bounce. Move it down court for Spencer Milne. Milne had Bowen there cut and decided against it. Moves up to Christensen. Off the bench, back down to Bowen on the right-hand side here. Bowen by himself. Nobody set screens for him. The Christensen fighting off a defender. Amazing pressure there by the Rebels. Moves over number 28. Saved by McMillan. They determined it was a deflection, as there's an argument here over the refs about who should have the ball. Ball was given to the Miners, so they're going to have a fresh 30. Pass off to McFadden at the top of the key. Bowen dips, dives, swim moves, saved by McMillan. Very nice save so far. Not giving the players much. Ball is taken up by Carter Albrecht. So he is fighting down here in front of the Miners bench. Not able to get the ball. This is going to be the Miners recovering. Brett Craig moves over to Needham. Back down to Christensen. Takes a shot. Tries 5-hole on McMillan. McMillan turns it away. They do get the ball back, though. It's going to be a fresh 30 for the Miners. So they haven't been able to generate too much offense here. We're 16 minutes into the game. They only have one goal. Ooh, shot off the post by Needham. Kind of caught McMillan off guard. He was able to save it off the post there. Was able to recover it. We got some jostling here between Needham and Ethan Ang. Ooh, big hit by Aaron Duff. Refs determine that to be clean. Big open court hit. We're not on ice. Takes a couple slashes, shoots around it. He better another big check as the Miners are starting to get physical. There's some jostling in front of the net here. 47 for the Miners. Seidel was able to outmuscle. Get the ball. He's got nobody down there with him right now, so he's just going to wait and give some time over to McFadden. Loose ball is recovered by McFadden. Over to Christensen. Christensen wasn't quite ready for that one. He will recover. About 13 seconds left on the shot clock, so the Miners have spent a lot of time. Messing around with Bowen's able to just surprise his defender. Get across. I'm not sure if McMillan got a piece of that, if that was the crossbar. But either way, it's not in the net, and that's all that matters for the Rebels. Lots of after the play hitting and cross-checking and stuff going around here, but the wrestlers letting it go. They're determined that they're letting them play. That will be a hit there by Toll. Refs are just simply giving advantage over the Rebels. Move down to Bray. Bray on the left-hand side. Nice back pass to McCallion. Wasn't quite able to control it. As Hebert grabs it. It looks like we're going to be getting our first call of the game here against the Miners. Williamson will get a 2-minute penalty there for cross-checking on the Miners with 2:35 left. This Rebels power play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They're here to help you buy it. We thank you to all our sponsors on the CROW LAX TV network. Beret, top of the key. Passes it over to Ethan Wong. Wong unfortunately hit the post. A lot of posts in this game so far. That could be one of the determining factors why it's low scoring so far. Miners on the PK with Toll. Fully expect them to take the full 30 here and try to kill off as much time as the Rebels power play as possible. Ball rebounded and gathered by Fowler as he's looking to get up court. Again, you have 8 seconds to get up court here in the RMLL. If you don't get up in 8 seconds, it's a turnover. McCallion up to Bray. Left-hand side here, McCallion. Bray playing the top of the power play. Looking for friends. Ooh. Ethan Wong missed that one tee just by a little bit. Behind the back pass for Craig. Craig up court. Misses. Good opportunity for probably the best opportunity on this power play so far has been by the Miners. McCallion's going to grab it behind the net. as the Rebels are going to get control of this off an over and back. McCallion over to number 5, who I don't have a name for. I apologize. We'll try to get that to you as quick as possible. It is shown as Eric George in my commentary, but I know it is not Eric George. Eric George is wearing number 13 for the Rebels currently. Miners. Got away with one there. Where's this penalty behind the play? There's a Rebels player there looking for blood. A 2 minutes slashing call on Darren Beret will eliminate this Rebels power play. As we will go 4-on-4 for 35 seconds. There's 1:09 left here in the first frame. Rebels have a 2-1 lead. Yeah, and I've mentioned it a couple times this game. This is a very important game for the Rebels as they are in 5th place in the Senior B division. And only the top 4 teams in this division make the playoffs. So if the Rebels want to keep playing in a few weeks' time, they are going to need to getting a win in this game will help them a lot in doing that. So Bowen over to Needham. Needham's turned away by McMillan. Be up for Matt Murphy. Murphy looking for some people coming off. Again, we are under 4-on-4 right now for the next 10 seconds, and it'll be a Miners power play. McCallion looking for Beret. Beret getting a screen from McCallion, looking to come over the top. Shakes off a defender. And that shot looks like it got deflected. We are currently under a Miners power play. Brought over in Needham. So the Miners have 24 seconds to work with here. Doesn't look like they're going to take a timeout or pull their netminder, as the shot clock differential is about the same. So a little bit surprising on my end. Christensen coming over the top. He got 2 screens from Swings, and that is a save by McMillan. 7 seconds left. Will the Rebels look for an opportunity here? Loose ball. Looks like they're just going to kill it. And that's the end of first period action. The Miners will carry a 51-second power play into the second period, as they are trailing in this game 1-2, 2-1. Sorry. And just to wrap up the sponsors, we'd like to thank the city of Fort Saskatchewan. Explore Fort Saskatchewan, discover a place where family fun meets opportunity, visit their historic downtown, scenic parks, and river valley, work in a thriving community, play where every moment is memorable, visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. We will see you in about 10 minutes' time as the Rebels carry a 2-1 lead into the second period. Welcome back, as we are going to have second period action from the Moyer Recreation Center. Rebels versus Miners. Rebels have a 2-1 lead after the first period. Miners will have a 51-second power play to start the second here, though. Rebels, once again, are in your red jerseys. They're going to be going left to right on the broadcast this second period. Miners in the white jerseys, red helmets going right to left on your broadcast screen. As we'll have a second period action here in a very pivotal game for the Senior B playoffs. Would like to thank you for tuning in. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the CROW LAX TV channel. We will have about 40 more. Ball is controlled by the Miners on the draw. Sorry, there's some technical issues. We quickly solved them. Needham over to Christensen up top on this power play. Looking for Agus. Needham shoots it wide. McMillan did not get a piece of that. 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Moves it over to Berglov. Saved by McMillan. Again, McMillan's been very, very solid. Would like to correct. I was wrong. Number 5 for the Rebels is Eric George. Number 13 for the Rebels is Ethan Peterson. Much different height, so we will not get those two confused again. McCallion on the PK here as it does end. And Hebert will control the ball for the Miners behind the net. Moves it up to Craig. Into the corner, Bowen. Waiting for one more front gate guy to come on. McFadden over to Bowen. Bowen up top. Shoots around the screen. Tries to get a shot off. Gets blocked. Not sure who blocked that. Most important part is it didn't get in on net. McMillan does get the ball, though. Moves up to Fowler. Fowler across half court. 2 Rebels on his back. Doesn't seem deterred by it. Does end up dropping the ball, though. That will be controlled over to Williamson from top. Shoots it right into McMillan's chest. That's a huge save on a partial breakaway there. McMillan down to Murphy. Murphy waiting for his front gate to get onto the court. Moves it back to George. George fighting through some defenders here. And that will be saved by Hebert as the shot was blocked on its way through. Williamson up for the Miners. Over to Christensen. Kind of a moving screen there. Not called by the refs. That is deflected and taken by the Rebels up court. Takahara setting a screen over to, I believe that was Wojciechowski for the Rebels there. It was not. It was Ethan Ang scoring the goal there and putting the Rebels up 3-1 as he does beat Hebert, giving the Rebels a 3-1 lead. Be sure to get your CROW LAX 50/50 tickets. Draw will take place on Canada Day with a maximum take-home of up to $10,000. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit our social media networks, CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. Millen jumping up into the rush there for the Miners. Gets a screen on McMillan, but McMillan will turn that shot aside too. McMillan's been solid in this game for the Rebels. Has been a difference maker. Ray over across. That is unable to be stopped by George. The Miners ball over to Bowen. Bowen waiting for his front to go. Passes to Bergloff. Bergloff gets it on net, but is saved by McMillan. Bergloff in the corner, takes control. Over to Bowen. Bowen across for Craig. Cook comes across, swings up top, misses the net. 13 seconds left on the shot clock as they did not get the reset. Moves over back to Cook, saved by McMillan. That one definitely hit him. Nice save. High cross check there on Takahara by Cook. And Cook looks like he will be heading to the box, putting the Rebels on the power play. Be 2 minutes for high sticking, the ref determines. This Rebels Power Play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance, they're here to help you buy it. Beret starts the power play for the Rebels. Control down low, Beret up top, waiting for some screens from his teammates on the right-hand side. Back pass over to McCallion. McCallion's swim move up top to Beret. Beret wide open, takes a shot, saved by Hebert. Hebert closing down that 5-hole like he has most of the game here. He will control the ball. Move it up to Seidel. Believe they're calling a back in on the Miners. So that would be Rebels ball again. Beret up top over to McCallion. Beret. McCallion. That is saved by Hebert. Again, going to 5-hole. They're testing that 5-hole. Seidel taking up on the Miners PK here. He's just going to burn some time. Recovered by, for Saskatchewan, Carter Albrecht. Played defense on that power play for them. Rebels. Beret up top. Bounces off of Hebert and in. That is a 4-1 lead for the Rebels as they capitalize on the power play, make the Miners pay. 14:35 left in the second period, and the Rebels are up 4-1 over the first seeded Miners. Good start to the game for the Rebels. That's how you want to. They're playing with some desperation. They are a desperate team right now. Off the draw here, we will get Rebels ball as Takahara able to come in off the faceoff there and pick it up. Get control for his team. Takahara down low to Jordan Dewart. Saved by Hebert. Hebert moves it up quickly to McFadden. McFadden over to Christensen off the bench. Out of the front gate. Goes 5-hole on McMillan, but McMillan up to the task. Rebels will control the ball again. Fowler. Fowler on the far side of the commentary box. Moves over to Beret. Beret on the right-hand side. Shoots a little bit wide. And that will be an over and back. Miners ball deep into the Rebel zone. We got some rough stuff. Some gloves are off. Toll. Toll for the Rebels. And Albrecht for the Rebels. Toll for the Miners as they get some punches off and kind of wrestled into the boards there by Albrecht. Toll definitely got more punches off, but Albrecht gets the takedown. So yeah, it's up to you, the fans, to determine which one is worth more points. Toll's still sitting there, mouthing off, walking back towards Albrecht. Clearly not done yet, wants to continue going. Toll's getting both as in RML Lacrosse. They'll both get 5 minutes for fighting and a game misconduct. So that will be the end of their evenings. Is referee Wes is telling him to get out. Looks like just the two guys there. There was some pushing and shoving. I believe the only calls that are going to be made are likely to be the fighting, but we will see. There is a minors player in the box right now. I do not see the number. It looks like it is Spencer Millen. Millen made his NLL debut for Las Vegas last season. So that's the pleasure of senior lacrosse in Alberta and in other parts of the country. We do get to see a lot of high talent from the NLL come down and play here during the summer. It makes for good lacrosse. While the refs figure this out, I'd like to thank the city of Fort Saskatchewan. Explore Fort Saskatchewan, discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit the historic downtown, scenic parks, and river valley. Work in a thriving community. Play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. Had the pleasure of spending a few hours in Fort Saskatchewan today. Very, very nice and beautiful city. As we were waiting on the refs, waiting for some hand signals. We know that Toll is getting a 5-minute for fighting. So that will be the end of his night. And we know that Albrecht a 5 minutes for fighting. That will be the end of his evening as well. So both teams will be down one player. So my pen has died on me. Looks like after all the funny business, we are going to get a Rebels power play. This Rebel power play is brought to you by Smith Insurance. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They are here to help you buy it. There will be 2 minors in the box, but it will be a 5-on-4 power play. I believe one was given a 10-minute misconduct on the call. I will try to hear the PAs to give you an official announcement, but that is Barea on the power play again up top in his usual position. Down low to George McCallion. McCallion's shot saved by Hebert. It's going to be a Miners ball off a scuffle in the corner. Around the blue line, actually. Passes over to Craig. Ball is whistled in by the refs. Nolski bounces it across down to Needham. Needham in the corner. Over to Christensen. They will look for an opportunity to shoot here, but they will probably likely take the full 30 as they are on the PK. Christensen with Needham. Needham cutting. Christensen comes up top and misses wide. Recovered by Beret off the back wall. Beret slows down, waits for his front gate to get on the court for the remainder of this power play. There's 1 minute, 5 seconds left in this power play by the Rebels. Peterson down low, tries 5-hole. Saved by Hebert. Hebert tries to move it up to his defender, but bundles it. Beret over. Beret back to Ethan Ang. That is saved by Hebert, but we were going to get a cross-checking call from Jason Williamson, and that will put Rebels on a 5-on-3 power play. Now in Lacrosse, on a 5-on-3 power play, you're going to notice that the Rebels are probably going to have somebody set around the hockey blue line and just rebound the ball. Possession is important in Lacrosse, so down low is probably just going to be a 4-on-3, and then you're going to have a Rebels player standing up around half, rebounding the ball. Peterson off of Hebert and into the roof. They were determined it was Miner's ball, but Ethan Wong grabbed it, took it into the corner, and he's going to get charged with a delay of game. So that 5-on-3 lasted about 4 seconds. Now we're going to have a 5-on-4 power play. No, 4-on-3 power play for the Rebels. But the Miners are going to control the ball. Bowen sizing up his defender. Kind of in an ISO spot. Tries to pass over to Needham. A little bit too high. Able to keep it in. No, determined over and back by Wes. Got Peterson on a breakaway. Misses the net, I believe, as he did fall down in that breakaway trying to crease dive. Very important in lacrosse that you stay out of the cylinder. You cannot step into the crease. It is an automatic turnover. Beret up top. Plenty of room as we are now on 4-on-4. It'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 13, and we'll have a very short 10-second power play for the Miners as we fight through this penalty jumble, kind of killing the pace of the play. Christensen down low to Needham. Needham over to Bowen. Bowen up top. Misses the net. Nice shot. Just a little bit wide, and that is going to be an over and back on Rebels ball. With 11:22 left in the second period. We're going to have Eric George controlling the ball up top. Looking for a screen. Swings across. Over to Darren Beret. Down to McCallion. Sorry. Fight alongside in front of the Rebels bench here. Some jostling around. Nobody really has control of the ball. Ball is given to the Rebels. McCallion trying to swerve around his defender. Looking for Dewart. Dewart fires it on net. He's saved by Hebert. The Miners look to get numbers up court. They will have a 2-on-1. Bergolov all alone. Shoots a little bit wide on the left-hand side. McMillan didn't give him much to shoot at. Ball popped out. Given to Agus. It is determined an over and back. He's going to have to drop it. Creating a Takahara over to Ethan Ang. A little bit high. Wasn't able to control it. That will be an over and back by Takahara as he tried to throw it in and catch it, but refs determined he went over half. 5 seconds left in this very expedited power play. We are now back to 5-on-5. Needham up top over to Bowen. Bowen looking for some screens. Able to fight through a couple and get a shot on net, but that is saved by McMillan. Ethan Wong. Wong by himself right now, waiting for his front gate to get on to the court. Good ball control there as he passes it over to McCallion. Beret takes a shot on net, but Hebert stops that one. Rebels with a 4-1 lead here, halfway through the game. Needham all alone hits the post. That is probably about the 5th or 6th post we've seen combined between the two teams. Bergloff is able to collect it around half. Moves it down to Needham. Needham looking for Agus up top from behind the net. Goes over. McMillan tries to chase it down. McFadden over on the far side. He's able to dance around Beret there a bit. Beret fighting. Beret smaller in stature, but definitely has that fight in him. Very hard work ethic, and routinely wins balls from people that are much bigger in size than him. The Darren Beret over to Eric George. Behind the back shot from Greg Beret. That was amazing. That's probably the first I've seen a behind-the-back shot from in my lacrosse career. Number 16, Rory Sharon on the breakaway there for the Miners. Turned away by McMillan. McMillan, 1 goal out here in 32 minutes of play. Very, very good for lacrosse. Needham up top. Jake Bowen. Bowen tries to dance in, spin move, shoots over the net. Taken by Ethan Ang. Ethan Ang in the Rebel zone. Turns it down to Greg Beret. Greg Beret, a very important piece of this Rebels offense. It's a moving screen. Are they going to give him a penalty? They are. So it's not just advantage Miners. It's going to be power play Miners, as McCallion's going to get a 2 minutes for cross-checking. Sending the Rebels to the penalty kill. Rebels penalty kill brought to you by 5-2 Projects, providing construction services tailored to meet the unique needs of each client, committed to delivering top-notch quality and exceptional customer service. Once again, we thank all the sponsors on the CROW LAX network for making this possible. Christensen on the Miners power play on the left-hand side, up top to Needham, over to Bowen, back to Needham. Bowen passing back and forth, looking for an open lane. Gets a screen up top. Oh, be able to fight through that. Bowen from up top, overhand shot, wide. Needham, 13 seconds left on the shot clock. He's got time. He doesn't need to rush anything right now. Needham controls it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Tries to pass it over to Bergolov. Bergolov with the 1T misses it. Needham able to get off the rebound, and McMillan sliding save, as he has been solid for these Rebels tonight. Minute 25 left on the Miners power play. Rebels are going to take it up court. They're going to try to kill some time here. Standing along the half wall, passes it back to Ethan Wong. Peterson in the corner. Loses the ball as Duff shoves down Darren Beret. And that gets called advantage to the Rebels. And I think they're going to give Duff 2 minutes here. Yeah, there are some. They're going to give. This John Lintz. Lintz came in and started getting involved in the shoving, and he's going to be the one that gets taken off, as this cross check was determined a little bit too high. That will be the end of the Miners power play. Beret up top takes it in for the Rebels. 4-on-4 here for the next minute. Greg Beret getting harassed there by Craig. Nice screens, able to find some entry room over to Peterson. Peterson to George. George with the snipe. Takes the pass from Peterson and just rips it top left over Hevert's shoulder. And that gives the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels a 5-1 lead here on a 4-on-4 goal, as they are starting to maybe run away with this game. I remind you, Miners are first in the Senior B division, currently tied with the Mounties, but they do have 2 games in hand on those Mounties as they try to secure first place heading into the Senior B playoffs. Rebels fighting for their lives here as the current 5th seed. They need to win this game to tie the Outlaws for 4th in the Senior B division. Miners picking up the ball here, 4-on-4 after winning the faceoff. Christensen coming off the bench over to McFadden. McFadden down to Bowen. Over to Needham. Bowen cutting in. Down to Christensen. Christensen, crease dive. Saved by McMillan. Takes a cross check to the back, though, by Nolsky. Oh, and we got some more rough stuff. Nolsky routinely keeps cross-checking him in the back. Got some rough stuff in this game. It's getting a bit chippy here in this second. I imagine the ref's going to take both of them. We're going to see both Garen Nolsky, or we're going to see Christensen for the Miners, Matthew Christensen, and Garen Nolsky for the Rebels, both getting 2 minutes for cross-checking. I believe we're going to stay on 4-on-4. Be sure to get your CROW LAX 50/50 tickets. Draw will take place on Canada Day with a maximum take-home of up to $10,000. Scan the QR code on your screen now or visit our social media channels for more information at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. We're going to have 3-on-3 lacrosse for 17 seconds. And then the Miners are going to go back on the power play. Beret. Welcome to Peterson. Peterson over to George. George up top. Big shot. It is wide. As Brett Craig's going to get down in the corner. He's going to race down. It is now Miners' ball. Miners controlling the Rebel zone here. Needham. As the Rebels have a small 4-on-3 power play here. Bowen from the top, saved by McMillan. McMillan's been up to the task. So 44 seconds left here on this small Miners power play. Rebels control the ball. You have Ethan Wong over to McCallion. Up top to Peterson. McCallion shoots 5-hole, saved by Hebert. Hebert bobbles it a bit. Lucky the ball didn't roll back on him there. Moves up to Duff. Miners, 18 seconds left on this 4-on-3 PK. Then we will go down. We will go to a 4-on-4 for 50 seconds. Needham controlling the ball. Gets a screen from Agus. Agus. Too many men. Too many men given to. It's going to be the Rebels. Rebels have. Rebels or Miners? It's going to be the Miners. Miners have 3 seconds left on their penalty. Therefore, they had 4 people on the court. And that will be too many men. Or in lacrosse, as we call it, a legal substitution. Legal substitution for the Miners. That will put the Rebels, I believe, on the power play here in 3 seconds, as there's 3 seconds remaining on the Miners penalty, but they took it off the board. 5:07 here left in the second period. 5-1 Rebels over the Miners. Once again, we thank you for tuning in to CROW LAX TV. Please subscribe if you have not already to be notified whenever we go live. You can also click on the notification bell to go live or to be notified whenever we upload anything, as we do have the Junior B's podcast once a week, covering the Junior B Tier 1 circuit. We broadcast Junior B Tier 1, Senior B, and Major Female across this network, bringing you over 100 games this summer as we crown a champion in the North. And we'll see who goes to Junior B Tier 1 Provincials. Larry Bishop tournament set to be played April 3rd to 5th. The tournament is a penalty shot by Eric George. George went in, tried going backhand, forehand on Hebert, but Hebert up to the task. You have to forgive me for my arrogance. Not quite sure what leads to a penalty shot being given in lacrosse. If somebody wants to inform me in the chat or on social media, I would appreciate that. We have 4 Miners on the court. I don't think the refs seem confused on who needs to be where and doing what right now. As there's kind of a lull here, and there's players going back and forth on the court. Can't really determine how many is supposed to be on each side or who's supposed to be on a power play. We have 4 Rebels on the court and 3 Miners, which would insinuate a Rebels power play currently. There was only 3 seconds on the PK. left. So it should be 4-on-4 Miners, I believe. Coach is yelling at the ref, trying to get his attention. Bowen comes across. Bowen and Needham working it back and forth. Bowen shoots across. That will go wide. Ang grabs it. Takes on the far side for the Rebels. We have a 4-on-3 power play for the Rebels. Over to Peterson. Peterson up top. Over to Greg Beret. Beret shoots just wide. As Wong gets the ball behind the net. Moves over to Ang. Ang able to get the rebound. Not a rebound. Wong shot at Hebert, saved. Ang was able to get control of it off the board. Moves it back to Peterson. We have a 5-on-4 power play now for 48 seconds. McCallion over to Beret. Beret over to Ang. Ang walks in. Saved by Hebert. Rebounded or gathered by Wong. Wong on the short side here. Over to Peterson. Over to McCallion. Down low to Beret. Up top to Ang. Peterson tried to get inside. Got stood up by two Miners defenders. That for Saskatchewan power play. Brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They're here to help you buy it. Hebert bobbles the ball. And it's grabbed by McCallion. And while Hebert is running back to the net with his back turned to the play, McCallion's able to grab the ball and shoot it into an empty net. 5 seconds left in the Miners' power play. So that is a power play goal. And puts the Rebels up 6-1. As an empty netter from McCallion. I don't know whether to call it an empty netter or not. He shot it on an empty net, but it wasn't an intended empty net. So 3:12 remaining in the second period. The Rebels will have a 6-1 lead over the Miners. Very surprising result so far. A little bit of McFadden somehow gets out of that face-off scramble with a wide open breakaway that is saved by McMillan, however. Needham tries to shoot far side on McMillan, misses, and it bounces up into the netting. It's going to be Fort Saskatchewan ball. The Miners, for the better part of a long time, have dominated the Senior B division. Last season, July 15th, 2023, the Miners actually shut out this same Rebels team 18-0. That was Matty Hebert with that shutout. Shutout's very rare in lacrosse. McCallion loses the ball. Brett Craig is going to grab it. Craig on a breakaway. Goes forehand, tries to shoot up high. Misses the net. They're going to determine that McMillan did get a piece of it, so it's going to be Miners' ball down here in the Rebel zone. I'm not so sure about that. Bowen over to Cook. Cook over to Needham. Over to Bowen. Again, Bowen's kind of by himself in an ISO situation. Goes swim moves. Saved by McMillan. 5-hole again. So he stands up to the task. We have Ang. Ang in the far side. Two Miners defenders on him. Moves it up top to Alex Wildeboer. Wildeboer runs off. Gets a front gate player out. Peterson. Over to McCallion. McCallion dances in. Saved by Hebert. Eric George almost caught Hebert, not paying attention again with his back to the play. Eric George was Sharon on him. Sharon getting his stick in. Give him some taps on the hand. The clock was not running. That's our stoppage there. We got it fixed in the time box. 2 minutes left in the second period. 6-1 Rebels. McCallion. That'll be recovered by the Miners. There's a broken stick on the play. Picked up by the ref. Quick and easy. Spencer Millen. Strong in transition for the Miners in this game. Every time he has the ball in transition, seems to get up court with no complications. McFadden up top with a wide look that is saved by McMillan. McMillan trying to find the ball in his equipment, is able to get it. A minute 27 left here in the second period. Rebels in full control of this game so far. Ball picked up by Agus. Over to Millen. Millen up top. Nice save by McMillan, who I cannot overstate has played very well. Takahara in transition up court for the Rebels. He's going to wait for his front gate to get out of the bench. Last minute of play in the second period. Rebels up 6-1. Takahara passes it down low. Cross on a cut play. It was Alex Wildeboer. Turned away by Hebert. Greg Beret getting harassed up top. Turns it over to Sharon. Refs are going to determine an illegal substitution against the Miners as they stepped out of the front gate before their back defenders got off the court. And in transition, if you do that, you're going to get called for a legal substitution every time. Moving the Rebels back to the power play, which has been very successful this game so far. That's the Smith Insurance Power Play. This Rebels Power Play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell your insurance, they are here to help you buy it. 33 seconds left, so we might only get to see one opportunity here. McCallion sizing up his defender, Lintz. Moves up top to Beret. Over to Peterson. Peterson getting harassed. Up to Beret. Beret's got tons of time, tons of space. Over to McCallion. Saved by Hebert off that quick little one-timer. Give me a Miners ball here with 14 seconds left. 4 on 5. Craig runs up court. He's got Millen with him. Millen sets a screen. Craig in the corner. Up top. And snipes on McMillan. A little bit of a unexpected shot there from your transition player. But Craig comes off the half wall, curls up, and just rips it by McMillan with 1 second left in the second period. Giving the Miners a second goal and cutting the lead to 4. But that gives them a little bit of a jolt going into the locker room here. Down by 4 going into the third. Again, Miners 7-1 on this season for a good reason. They're a great team. So be sure to stay tuned for that third period, as we should have a good final frame. So Rebels look to hold on to a lead in a very important game for them. As again, after 40 minutes of play, it is 6-2 Rebels, who will have the power play going into the third period. I'd like to thank you for watching CROW LAX TV this evening. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you in about 10 minutes time. welcome back to the Moyer Recreation Center with Major Series, Alberta Series Lacrosse action, Senior B, between the Edmonton Miners and the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. Fort Saskatchewan on the power play, minute 27 to start this third period. 6-2 lead as they are fighting for their season, sitting in the bottom of the Senior B division. Again, top 4 teams advance to the playoffs in a few weeks' time, and the Rebels are looking to be one of those 4 teams. Peterson walks it in, waiting for some friends. Up top to George. Wong coming off the bench a little bit late. George up top. George up top again. Gets a screen by Ang. Saved by Hebert. McCallion and George in the corner, fighting with some Miners trying to get the ball here. Getting pressed by Gillespie. It'll be an 8-second violation for the Miners. It'll be a Rebels ball here. 44 seconds left on the power play. McCallion in the corner. Over to George. Beret and Peterson coming off the bench. George left-hand side over to Peterson. Peterson up top. Beret right in the middle. George off of Beret's leg. Wide. Check from behind there a little bit as he pins up against the board by Agus. Up top, George. George settles it down. 20 seconds left in the power play. George shoots. I believe the refs were counting down the shot clock as the shot clock was reset when it was not supposed to be. Agus gets stick checked and loses the ball as McCallion is by himself. Defender leaves him. McCallion walks in. Saved by Hebert. And then McCallion steps into the cylinder trying to get the ball, and it's Miners' ball. Power play is over as we go back to 5-on-5. So it seems like the first time in a long time. There's been lots of penalties in the second period going into the third. Christensen up top. Over to Bowen. Bowen. Swim moves inside. Gets a shot on McMillan, but McMillan stands tall. Saves that one. Wildeboer on the far side. Gets it over to Wong. Wong controlling up near the blue line. Down to Darren Beret. Beret up to McCallion. Over to Eric George. George shoots over McCallion's head. Misses the net. Sends it wide over to Hebert. Couple shots there. Hebert on to task on all of them. Darren Beret in his own zone. 17:36 left in this third period and game. The Rebels with a 6-2 lead, going right to left in the red on your broadcast camera. Miners in the white, going left to right for the remainder of this game. Beret from up top. Seidel fighting for the ball here. Greg Beret gets it, takes a slash from Seidel, moves it down court to Wong. Wong snipes short side on Hebert. Nice outlet pass by Greg Beret. Gets it down low to Wong, and Wong goes short side on Hebert's glove, giving the Rebels a 7-2 lead with 17:08 left in the game. Again, the Rebels have not beat the Miners this season. The Miners 2-0 against the Rebels. So this would be a feather in the Rebels' cap if they were able to pull off this win. Huge hit from Millen. Off the draw there. Rebels control it, kind of, in the offensive zone. Miners able to get the ball off the court. Loose ball. Pushes him back into the crease, which is an back-in violation, giving the Rebels the ball. Takahara below the net. Moves it up top to Murphy. Murphy back to Takahara. Controlled on the far side by Wong. Wong and moves it over to Bray, who's kind of standing on top of McCallion, and they get in each other's way. Agus up top with the Miners. Getting a screen from Matt Kim. So look to get some transition play. Christensen off the bench from the front gate. Gets the ball, shoots it far wide on McMillan. There's going to be an interference penalty on Wojciechowski. They're going to actually give the penalty to Agus on interference. Wojciechowski was the one standing over top of Agus, so I just assumed that it was a interference call on the Rebels. Wong on the Rebels power play here. It was over, saved by Hebert. Beret up top. McCallion. Over to George. George and McCallion. Turn it over. And this is the Smith Insurance power play as the Miners move up court. Millen in on goal. Saved by McMillan. And this Rebels power play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They're here to help you buy it. Peterson on the far side, just able to walk right in. Up top to Beret, over to McCallion. Greg Beret up top again to McCallion. Pass back and forth down to Wong. Williamson able to recover for the Miners. Up court with Millen. Trying to beat the back gate. Is able to get a shot on net, but McMillan's able to stop it. 55 seconds left on this Rebels power play. 15 minutes left in the game. 7-2 lead for the Rebels as they look to close this one out. They do not want to give the Miners any life. If there's any team in this division that can score 5 in 15 minutes and turn the game around, it is these Edmonton Miners. They have one of the most high-powered offenses in this league. George over to Greg Beret. They're kind of using their clock here. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Peterson. Hebert slides and saves it through his 5-hole. Brett Craig up court for the Miners. 10 seconds left as they will likely kill this penalty off and then take control of the offense. 5-on-5. 10-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Or penalty clock. Bowen. Power play is over. Bowen up top, getting harassed by Takahara. Takahara is going to get a holding penalty as Fort Saskatchewan will go on to the 5-2 Projects penalty kill. This penalty kill is brought to you by 5-2 Projects, providing construction services tailored to meet the unique needs of each client, committed to delivering top-notch quality and exceptional customer service. Also like to thank Vimy Ridge Academy. At Vimy Lacrosse, excellence is the standard. Led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors, they are dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes. Vimy Lacrosse is the fusion of sports, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. Explore the academy by visiting vimyedmonton.ca/lacrosse. Also like to remind you to get your CROW LAX 50/50 tickets. You can follow the QR code on your screen for our Canada Day draw. Maximum amount is $10,000. Get your tickets now. Bowen on the power play for the Miners as they are passing this ball around the horn. Very quick. Bowen wide open. Moves it over to Needham. Shoots and gets past McMillan. I think that was deflected in by a Rebels player as it didn't sound clean off the stick. But that might be the little bit of life that we were just talking about the Miners needing to get back in this game. As 7-3 cuts the lead down to 4 with 13:46 remaining in this game. If you're the Rebels, you're going to want to stay out of the penalty box the rest of this period. You don't want to give the Miners free looks. Kim off the faceoff. Controls it in his own zone. Takahara with a slash. No call. Takahara gets the ball in control for the Rebels. Passes off to George. George over to Murphy. Murphy down low to Ang. Ang looking for some options on the left-hand side here. Passes into a cutting Murphy. Murphy gets a shot on net, but Hebert is up to the task on that one. Hebert down. We got some pushing back and forth again. And West is, I'm not sure if West is going to give a penalty, but he's definitely talking to them to cut it out. And I do think we might get a call here. City of Fort Saskatchewan. Explore Fort Saskatchewan. Discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit the historic downtown, scenic parks and river valley. Work in a thriving community. Play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. We are going to get a Rebels power play as we're not going to get a penalty. I don't. It's hard to follow because I don't think the refs know what they're calling here. But we're going to get even. There's a penalty on the board, but there's nobody in the box. It's 5-on-5. 13:08 left in the final frame. We got 5-on-5. Greg Beret takes the ball from the ref, cuts in, gets a couple of screens, gets some space, passes up to Eric George off the pick and roll. Eric George up top again. Big right-handed shot over to McCallion. McCallion swim moves, swings it across over to Peterson, who fires it on net. That is saved by Hebert. Wong fighting in there against a much bigger dude in Millen. Pushing, shoving, not afraid to tell him what's up. Got Needham. Fakes the pass to Bergoloff, comes on the left-hand side. McMillan, I do not believe got a piece of that. I think it went wide. Shot by Christensen, saved by McMillan. That's a free 30. McMillan, another save as he's keeping these Miners at bay. Williamson with the ball, recovers it around half court. So he waits for his front gate to get out. Bowen going to give him the ball with Cook and Bergloff. So they come out the front gate for the Miners. Been a quiet night for them. They're going to look to get going here. Try to get back in this game. Bowen passes it over to Cook. Cook misses it. Takahara recovers it off the rebound board there. Takahara up court. Loose ball. Greg Beret gets it. Good awareness by him to keep his head up and listen for the loose ball. Greg Beret behind the net. Getting chased down. Greg Beret cuts out front. Great individual effort. Determined he was stepped in the crease though. Millen in transition for the Miners. Pass over to Needham. McFadden also off the bench. Needham gets a pick from Christensen. Swings it up top to Bowen. Bowen shimmy shakes. Needham, amazing play. Inside, outside, and up and over the shoulder of McMillan. And we got a 7-4 game as the Miners cut it to 3. And as mentioned before, you do not want to give this team life. There's too much time for the Miners. 3 goals in 11 minutes. There's 11:01 left in this game. They've cut the lead down to 3. And the Rebels need to stop the bleeding here. They need to get some offense going, need to get a goal. Millen gets the ball off the face-off. Moves it up to Lintz for the Miners. The Miners' front gate's already on the court, ready to go. Christensen, or Agus, over to Bowen. Bowen swings up top. Overhand shot saved by McMillan. Up in the air. McMillan's able to grab it. Outlets all the way. Trying to find Takahara, but in the stadium here we have a blue partition. The ball hit the partition, and that is deemed a dead ball. We got a 2-minute slashing penalty. Going towards the Miners. As the Rebels power play is going to get a chance to stop the bleeding here and get another goal and increase that lead to 4 again. This Rebels power play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They are here to help you buy it. And boy, could they buy a goal right now. McCallion over to Beret. Beret down to Peterson. Peterson to Wong. Peterson looking for a shot. Pass to Beret. Good screen on McCallion. Able to get Beret some open space. behind the net. Bray up top. Over to Wong. Wong on the far right side. Shoots. It's blocked by Millen. It'll be a Miners ball as it deflected out of play. Agus at the blue line for the Miners in the Rebel zone here. On a PK, so they're probably just going to kill it, but they need to score some goals too, so they're not going to be completely passive on this PK. Behind the net, Agus with Needham as they're fighting for the ball. 3 Miners below the goal line, and the Rebels were able to get the ball. Up in transition, we got Takahara moving fast with Ang and Murphy. Takahara tries to get himself. Let's get over to Ang. Ang on net. Saved by Hebert. Peterson. Peterson over to McCallion. McCallion looking, waiting. Passes up to Beret. Beret from up top, his usual spot. Passes it over to Peterson. Peterson whiffs on it. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Blocked by the Miners. Given a reset. So, McCallion. Shot up high, saved. Rebound gathered by Beret. 28 seconds left on this power play. Peterson, nice save by Hebert. Hebert keeping the Miners in it in this third period. 8:55 to go, 20 seconds left on the power play for the Rebels. They determined it's going to be a time violation on the goalie. And that would be Rebels ball. Peterson in the corner. It gives them another chance on this power play. Down low, McCallion. Over to Wong, saved by Hebert. Nice sliding save. 4 seconds left on this power play. That will be the end of it as we are back 5-on-5. Rebels power play not able to extend this lead. They still have control of the ball though. Lintz. Oh, Peterson driven into the boards by Brett Craig. Looks like Peterson is okay as he's up and moving. It's good. We'd like to see that. Craig is definitely going to get a penalty for this. Rebels bench asking for 5. I'm not sure they're going to get it. Refs talking about it right now, whether it's going to be 2 or 5. They're going to give him 2 minutes. 2 minutes for interference to Brett Craig, and sends the Rebels back to the Smith Insurance power play. This Rebels power play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They're here to help you buy it. Vimy Ridge Academy at Vimy Lacrosse, excellence is the standard. Led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors, they are dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes. Vimy Lacrosse is the fusion of sports, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. Explore the academy by visiting Vimy Lacrosse, Vimy Edmonton /lacrosse. Bray on the power play. Peterson. Bray. Peterson. Down low to Wong. Wong tries to get it over to George. That's intercepted by Milnen. Peterson got away with a holding there, in my opinion. A little bit of interference. He stopped Milnen from getting to the ball. Miners bench and parents very upset right now. George. It's going to be a delayed penalty against the Miners. George up top, 6-on-5. McMillan got to the bench. McCallion over to George. George is going to take his time. There's no point in rushing this. McCallion, shot on net. Takahara, he'll get the rebound. Saved again by Hebert. That's back-to-back saves. Again, like I stated, he has been standing tall for the Miners in this period. Got 1 minute and 4 seconds on this 5-on-3. We're going to get 2 minutes for slashing to Duff. So that's a 5-on-3 power play. And as mentioned before, if you're new to lacrosse, you're going to see a 4-on-3 down low with a rebounder at half, just to keep the ball in the zone as much as possible. McCallion up top. McCallion down low to George. Rebels are actually bringing the 5th man down here. Probably the importance of getting this next goal. George tries to go far side on Hebert, misses the net. Determined didn't hit anything, so they have 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Down low to Wong. Bray behind the net. Bray, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to George. George shoots. Saved by Hebert as he got a toe on that one. 33 seconds left in this 5-on-3. Beret. George shoots, 5-hole. Hebert's covering it. Takes a couple of cross checks for his troubles. Miners will recover the ball. Get it across half. Christensen had control of it for a couple seconds there, but got stick checked, and the ball went down into the Rebel zone. Rebels, 3 seconds left on the 5-on-3. They will have a 56 seconds left on the 5-on-4. As 6:25 left in the game, there's no rush. They can save for shots. They can try to save. They can use the whole 30, but a goal in this power play would go a long ways in helping them secure this game. Ang tried passing over to Wong, missed the net, but the Rebels were able to get control of it. 2 seconds left on the shot clock, though. Ang, from up top, shoots wide. And the ball goes down into the Rebel zone. 30 seconds left on this power play for the Rebels. So the Miners, with 1 possession here, can kill it off, return to 5-on-5, and try to get back in this game as they're down 3 goals left. 3 goals with 6 minutes left in the third. Takahara moves it past half, escapes at 8 seconds, passes off to George, and they will get their front gate out. George down to McCallion. McCallion on the left-hand side. Big right shot, walking in. Pass to Beret. As the end of the power play, Beret up top. Tries for the underhanded shot that looks like it's blocked by Millen. Over to Lintz. Lintz down to Cook on a breakaway, or Duff, sorry, on a breakaway. Was unable to handle it. Big hit there. Rebels get across half. That is Alex Wildebor. To Greg Beret. McCallion. Seems like these guys have been on the court for the last 5 minutes. So they've had that power play and control the ball. McCallion looking for some friends, looking for a cutting George. George is able to gather it. Jumps, shoots, saved by Hebert. Greg Beret gets the rebound. As the Rebels are just chipping away at this clock, getting rebounds, getting the 30, getting the resets, and keeping the ball in the minor zone. 4:40 left. McFadden, one-on-one. He's going to wait for his front gate to get on the court. Over to Needham. Needham up top. Needham over to Christensen. Back to McFadden. Bowen setting a screen for McFadden. McFadden over to Needham. Swim moves in, tries to underhand pass it, goes back up top, swings up, shoots off a Rebels player, so it's going to be Miners' ball. 4:15 left in the third period. Miners down 7-4 over the 5th place Rebels. Rebels pretty much needing this game to keep their season alive. Takahara recovers it, 4 minutes left. Nice bounce pass off the wall for an outlet to Wojciechowski. Wojciechowski dancing around, getting harassed by Millen. Peterson's able to recover. Peterson over to McCallion. A little bit wide. Hebert. Ooh, Hebert almost. He brought it in. So it's going to be determined that he had control of it. So it's going to be Miners' ball. But he did bobble it for a second there. It was a little bit scary. Milnen over to Needham. Milnen's going to get off and allow a front gate guy to get on as Christensen gets off the bench with the ball now over to Needham. Miners need to get something going here. Bowen on the right-hand side dances in. Shimmy shakes and off the post. A little bit of a loose ball action here. Needham's able to recover. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. 3:10 left in the game. Saved by McMillan off a shot from Christensen. McMillan closing that 5-hole all night long. Logan Noyen with the ball for the Rebels. Getting into the corner. Moves it up top to Murphy. Murphy skies it over to Greg Beret. That's going to be an over and back. McFadden all alone right now, waiting for his front gate to get on. Pass that to Cook. Cook cutting in the middle. Cook getting harassed there a bit by Wojciechowski. Gets a screen, shoots, and rips it by McMillan. Nice screen set there by Christensen, and Cook comes around it. Right hand shot, just rips it short side on McMillan. That's 7-5. The Miners cut it down to 2. Cut the lead down to 2. 2:38 left in this third period. Rebels looking to hold on to this lead. The lead at one point was 7-2. So the Miners are threatening here. They haven't come all the way back yet, but they're definitely threatening. Face-off goes to Nolski. Nolski down to McCallion. McCallion scores right on the front step. That's an important goal for the Rebels. He got it past Hebert, right in the front of the crease. Very, very close to being a crease violation, but he kept his toes out and got it past Hebert, restoring that 3-goal lead. Took about 6 seconds for them to restore the 3-goal lead. And if you're a Rebels fan, that one's got to feel good. It relieves the pressure a little bit. Kim off the draw. Kim for the Miners. Off to Millen. Hebert's going to leave the net. That's an empty net for the Miners. Going to be 6-on-5. Needham. Miners need 3 goals and 2:18 left. Christensen slows it down a bit, waits for the 6th man to get on. That's Cook. Moves over to Bowen. Bowen through a screen. Off the post and in. Off the post and in. West gets behind. Referee West gets behind the net. Sees the ball roll in. Calls it a good goal for the Miners. And that's a 2-goal lead now, again, for the Rebels. As goals are coming fast and furious here in the third period. 2:01 left on the clock. That's 1 goal for the Miners, 6-on-5. They're going to need a couple more if they're going to get back in this game. They don't have much time to do it. Clock is definitely their biggest enemy right now. Takahara off the draw for the Rebels. Milnen picks it up, takes it up court for the Rebels. He's going to wait for his front gate. His front gate comes out. Hebert's basically standing at the blue line already, waiting to come out. Needham at the Rebels blue line. Gets the ball. Hebert's off and on to the bench. Christensen. Rebels 135, or Miners 135 left in the game, down by 2. Bowen up top. Dances, moves. Saved by McMillan. McFadden behind the net. Over to Cook. Cook misses the net. Shot clock goes off, but it's still Miners' ball. Cook. Needham from up top. Shoots. Saved by McMillan. And Rebels will get the ball. Minute 5 left in this game. Ang just trying to call for a timeout. He's getting slashed and cross-checked in the back while trying to get a timeout. Refs finally notice it and will give the Rebels their timeout. 59.6 seconds left in this third period. Miners up 8-6. And the Rebels will take a 30-second timeout. So we're going to remind you quickly to be sure to get your CROW LAX TV 50/50 tickets. Draw will take place on Canada Day with a maximum take-home amount of up to $10,000. Scan the QR code on your screen now or visit our social media channels at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. That's a reminder that the 50/50 supports all the teams on CROW as it goes right back to the teams. The 50% goes to you and 50% goes to the teams and helps support lacrosse in Alberta. Vimy Ridge. At Vimy Lacrosse, excellence is the standard. Led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors, they are dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes. Vimy Lacrosse is the fusion of sports, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. Explore the academy by visiting vimyedmonton.ca/lacrosse. 57 seconds left. 2 Miners on Takahara. Takahara fights out of it. Keeps fighting down low. He's getting harassed by 2 Miners. About to be 3 Miners. Milnen gets in there as well. We got some pushing and shoving in front of the Miners bench. between Agus and McCallion. Miners get the ball. McFadden, 35 seconds left for the Miners, down by 2. McFadden gets in the corner. Passes up to Christensen. Christensen up top. Cook coming in. Needham. Bowen. Bowen misses that. Needham gets a rebound. Shoots. Saved by McMillan. Needham again. Shoots. That one's wide. Recovered by Bowen. Bowen misses the net far left. 14 seconds left. Over and back. It's going to be Miners' ball. 11.4 seconds left. It's going to be a Miners' ball, or it's going to be Rebels' ball in the Miners' zone. So it looks like the Rebels are going to get out of here. Some pushing and shoving between Agus and McCallion. Play underway. We have Dewart. Lots of arguing down between the benches here. They just tossed out a Miners player. They tossed out number 71, Spencer Millen. Tossed him out, gave him thought he was yapping too much or he said something he shouldn't have said. Tossed him out, and they just, I think they just ran the clock. They decided to just run the clock out, 11 seconds left. I don't think the Miners agree with that, but I think the refs are done with this game. Yeah, that is a Rebels victory, a very important victory for the Rebels, as that now ties them with the Outlaws for 4th place in the Senior B division. And the Miners, they still have a game in hand on the Mounties, but that would have been, winning tonight would have put them 2 points up with a game in hand. So it would have been a huge win for the Miners. But we got some fighting in the handshake line. Got some fighting in the handshake line. It's something I've never seen. It pushes Stewart. You got Stewart and Lintz, I think. Got lots of pushing and shoving. Refs are trying to get them out of here. Refs are just trying to get everybody home. You got Darren Beret for the Rebels. He's trying to push his teammates and get him to the dressing room. You don't want to take any suspensions right here. There's no point for that. But that is my first time in 2 years of watching lacrosse that I've seen the handshake line disrespected. And I'm not gonna say who started it or who didn't start it, but it's not what we like to see. So yeah, Rebels 8-6 win, huge victory for them. And I'd like to thank you for watching CROW LAX TV lacrosse. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We will have the rest of the regular season in multiple leagues and the playoffs, as well as the Larry Bishop tournament in August long weekend. Once again, my name has been Eric Krause. I have Tristan Shaw on the camera. And thank you. And we will see you in the next one.